Today, I'd like our chefs to come and make us a fruit soufflé of their choice and a garnish using any of the ingredients on their bench. You know, our chefs have got to be all-rounders. We're not wanting a chef who can just cook on the savoury side. They have to be able to do pastry and desserts as well.
It's quite a simple, skillful thing to achieve, and it's just the understanding that I think we're looking for from our chefs.
So the first step in getting the soufflés right is to make sure they butter the mould and get them into the fridge as soon as possible. Got some pistachios, and I'm just going to use it in my soufflé mould to give it a bit of texture.
I do think with the soufflé, though, that our chefs would also need to think that they do need to put something else on the side of that mould. You can put sugar, you can put chocolate, you can put nuts, put herbs if you like.
Got the sugar as well. I just want to make sure it's coated all the way around. So the next thing I need to do now is to make the base of my soufflé. There's rhubarb, mango, passion fruit, and strawberry. I am going for the strawberry. The next thing I need to do is to thicken this base, and to do that, I need corn flour.
So you're not going to be making a crème pâtissier?
Giving them a simpler option here. For me, the crème pâte takes much longer to make, but if they can do that, yes, be impressive. You need to cook out the corn flour. Don't want to taste any of this corn flour in the mix, okay? So now I'm going to put it onto a tray to cool.
You've got to get the right consistency here, haven't you?
It's very important. So I'm going to put this into the freezer just for a couple of minutes to cool it down quickly. So now it's time to make my meringue for the soufflés. So egg whites in the bowl. So it's really important that the egg whites are brought up to a stiff peak before we start adding the sugar. You add the sugar too soon, and the egg whites will just drop. For our chefs, though, I am going to give them weighed out egg whites and sugar just to make it easier. It's almost there, so one more for luck. So I've got my moulds and my puree that's been set out of the fridge, and now is when you need to work quickly. So you take some of your puree and just a little bit of egg white, okay? If this puree was not cold or room temperature, this would destroy the meringue. And it's ready to go. It's really essential that you gently get it in the mould without knocking too much of that air out. So for me, just to sort of help it rise out, I just run my finger along the edge. So that's ready and into the oven. That should take about 6 to 7 minutes.
So now they've got about 7 minutes to create a garnish.
I think it's ample time to make a sauce or some kind of decoration to go with it. I hope it's not just going to be chopped up fruit left on the side. So just making a little bit of crumble to go on top of the soufflé. Crumble on top. And then I'm putting my strawberry and clotted cream. There you go. And that is my pistachio and strawberry soufflé with clotted cream and strawberries.
It's a colossal challenge. Time is against them. The skill and technique is really important here.
I just want to see some great pastry skills. Make us a simple soufflé. If that's all you can manage in 20 minutes, I'd be very pleased.
The first chef to face Monica's skills test is Jamie, a 27-year-old sous chef working in East London's Shoreditch.
So I've always worked in quite contemporary restaurants. Basically, the whole team gets to work on whatever they want, basically. You never have a day that's exactly the same as the day before. There's always a reason to keep doing something new and something different. The things that I can't prepare for are the things that worry me the most. Monica, she's got quite a famous facial expression. I'd hate to look up from doing the skills test and see her looking at me like that. I'd just be like, oh no, it's game over.
So the 20-minute test that I would like you to do is to make us a fruit souffle of your choice.
Okay.
The egg whites and the sugar has been weighed out for you for your meringue.
Perfect.
Have you made a souffle before?
Not recently.
When did you last make one?
Probably about 2 years ago now.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad.
Jamie, what made you be a chef?
I spent a lot of time in kitchens in my childhood. I learned to walk in my grandma's kitchen, getting in the way, getting underneath everyone's legs and stuff. I've always just had a passion for it.
So what's the plan, Jamie?
I'm just going to beat a little of the egg white that's whipped into the base to incorporate it, keep it nice and light as possible. Soufflés are quite sweet, so we're going to bring some acidity. So just raw strawberry, and I've seen some nice looking balsamic vinegar over there. So you've got a nice, like, sweet and sour, balance it out a little bit.
Jamie, you've got everything that you want for your garnish?
Yeah, quite simple, but just keeping nice flavours, nice balance, nothing overcomplicated. All done.
Great. Jamie, it hasn't come up as much as I like it to. You've made the meringue, you made your base and thickened it with the corn flour. You took your time about it, you didn't rush. The garnish leaves a lot to be desired, and you had a lot of time in your hands to make something a bit more exciting.
Jamie, good effort, great attitude, lovely clean bench. Couple of things. You need to really take more attention in lining your moulds. Get the mould into the freezer. It's the butter around the outside that allows the souffle to rise, and you need to be very careful with your meringue. Very slightly over whipped, but a good effort nonetheless. Looking forward to your signature dish.
Thank you. I'm reasonably pleased with what I managed to produce, and relieved at the same time that it's done now. It's the first hurdle. It's cleared. Just on to the next test now.
Next up is 30-year-old Tim, who's been a head chef at a care home for the past 2 years.
I've been a chef for 16 years now. I worked at Michael Caine's restaurant in Exeter, worked in all Rosette restaurants. This is the first care home I've ever worked in. Hopefully we're different from any other care home. We're a 5-star hotel. I haven't changed the way I cook from working in restaurants to coming here, and we're aiming for gold standard in everything, really. The MasterChef is the biggest competition. If you win the MasterChef, it's kind of like winning an Oscar if you're a film producer or something.
So, Tim, what I would like you to do is to make us a fruit-based souffle served with a garnish of your choice.
All right.
So how are you approaching this challenge?
Try to make a creme pat base first, get the fruit base ready,
OK.
and then combine the egg whites and cook it.
So you're making a strawberry fruit souffle using creme patissier?
Yeah. warming up.
That's it.
I like that you've buttered the molds properly and given them time to set in the freezer. You've got it cooked in time, it's risen up. It could do with a bit more cooking. You do have this sort of raw texture in the middle from it.
Your meringue didn't have enough sugar in it, and it wasn't whipped enough. Good working methods, great attitude, but certain skills, and the errors in those skills show up in that souffle, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's pressure. Could have gone better, but I got a souffle out, it risen, so I'm kind of happy. Silly mistakes, I said, but hopefully in the next round, signature dish, I know what I'm doing and I can improve.
Indian-born Suresh has lived in the UK for 10 years and is now head chef at a Sri Lankan restaurant in London.
I love cooking every day. 10 years ago, I feel it's a job. Now it's my life. So cooking is my passion. I want to show my skills to the world that Indian food is equally important than any other cuisine or better. Service!
Hello.
Hello, Suresh. We would like you to make us a fruit souffle.
Okay.
Have you made a souffle before?
No.
Have you eaten a souffle before?
Yes.
Okay, amazing.
Actually, I didn't made it a souffle before, and first time I am.
So you have no idea how to begin. Okay. So Suresh, what you need to do?
Yeah.
You need to butter your mold. Get that cooled. You have the ingredients to make the meringue, and you need to make a fruit base. About 7-8 minutes to cook. Okay. What are you going for? Mango?
Yeah.
Don't rush.
Have you ever studied pastry?
No.
You've never done pastry before?
I did my training in the hotel back 15 years ago.
Okay. So you have done a bit?
Yes.
Cool.
Now, clearly, this is not the type of cuisine that you specialize in. You know, I try to guide you along the way. It hasn't worked. There's too much puree to the amount of meringue. And you just keep beating it, knocking the air out of it.
I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit about who you are and what you enjoy cooking, because this was obviously not your forte.
Honestly, I didn't made souffle before. That's why I just made whatever I can. I'm not worried about now. It's gone, it's gone. I'm bit confident now I can show better things in the next round.
28-year-old sous chef Daniel currently works in a fine dining country pub in Gloucestershire.
My mum's actually a food teacher, so I saw a lot of things growing up, and when I started doing cooking at middle school, it just hit off for me. It is a tough job. I had a lecturer at college who said that the money is rubbish, the hours are long, but if you've got a passion for it, then you'll go far. I'm not one of these people who wants to just take part. I think if I can get past the first few rounds, I can definitely get to the finals and potentially win it.
What we'd like you to do is to make us a fruit-based souffle.
Okay.
And then we'd also like you to serve it with a garnish of your choice, using anything on that table there.
Okay.
What sorts of souffle are you making?
I'm going to go passion fruit and pistachio.
Nice. When did you last make a souffle then?
Probably college, to be honest. 10 years ago now.
Oh dear.
Cream together the sugar and the egg yolks, and then I'm going to fold it into the egg whites.
You ever worked in a kitchen that has had souffle on the menu?
No, I haven't.
No,
No.
So you've never seen it in production?
No.
Okay.
So souffle's in the oven. I'm just going to make the pistachio garnish now for it. I'm just going to toast off some coconut as well.
Daniel, clearly you've not made a souffle since college.
No.
You tried to get the base of the souffle right, but I'd never seen an egg yolk folded through the meringue like that.
What do you think's in there?
Salt.
Exactly. Salt, sugar, any chef making any dish, you should always taste. It's not the end of the world. You're not going out on the souffle, but you're really going to need to cook well in your signature round, Daniel.
Probably one of the worst things I've ever cooked, to be honest. Yeah, just confusion and just nerves. Mixing so much sugar is just such a rookie mistake, and I should not have done that.
Next is 21-year-old junior sous chef Chris, who works at a 2 Rosette Hotel restaurant in the heart of Liverpool.
Been a chef for the last 7 years now, since I left school. Started off in a 1 Rosette restaurant, working my way up to 2, 3 and 4 Rosettes. Done various stages around the country as well, 1 and 2 Michelin stars. I think that's where I got my passion for the more fine dining and, you know, the higher end of catering. I'd definitely say that Marcus is one of the biggest inspirations. You've got a 2 Michelin star chef tasting your food, it's the next level.
Chris, today I'd like you to make us a fruit-based souffle, OK? You know what you're going to do?
I'm going to do a passion fruit souffle, a little strawberry and raspberry compote to go with that.
OK, that seems a lot of work.
Why did you become a chef, Chris?
To be honest, all my family are chefs. My mum's a chef, my brother's a chef.
What's the plan with the moulds, then?
I'm just going to butter them and then fill them a bit with sugar, just for sweetness. And then we'll just fill the souffle with it.
OK.
Souffle making, for me, the most vital part of getting this right is getting your moulds buttered correctly, chilled, What you can see there clearly is where it's starting to catch and break throughout the soufflé.
You know, you made an effort to make a garnish which was good. Your working methods were excellent. For such a young chef, not a bad attempt, Chris, not bad at all.
Cheers. It was probably my worst nightmare, to be honest. I didn't think the soufflé would come up, but it did. It's not my biggest strength, but I gave it my everything, and I got a dish up in the end.
The final chef to face Monica's skills test is 37-year-old chef patron Ryan, who owns a 2-rosette restaurant in the Lake District.
My dad's a chef, my granddad was a chef, my great-granddad had a pie shop in Blackburn. Me and my brother decided to open a restaurant together. 3 years later, we've won a few awards along the way, and we're very happy with how things are going. It's just about not making myself look too stupid, and if I do, I just won't go out for a drink with any other chefs for the next 20 years.
What I would like you to make for us, Ryan, is a fruit-based soufflé.
OK.
OK?
20 minutes, your soufflé. Off you go, chef.
Thank you.
Ryan, when did you last make a soufflé?
I made a soufflé on New Year's Eve. Hopefully can remember something similar.
Ryan, tell me, why have you come to MasterChef as a chef patron? Why are you here?
If you say, oh, I've got my restaurant and that'll do me, you become complacent.
The soufflé, you've made it the right way. It's light, it's got the wonderful flavour of the passion fruit. Yeah, I think it's a very good first attempt here, Ryan.
Thank you.
Good flavoured soufflé, taste of passion fruit, and it rose, you know, really nicely. Best soufflé of the day, that one.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I was really not looking forward to that. I actually really enjoyed it. I don't think I was meant to, but I did.
I would like our chefs to prepare the cod's head, preferably use either the cheeks or the tongue to make a dish with. Our chefs will be given a larder here, which they can use in any way they want to serve their cod's dish. You know, we've left it open for them to have a play and serve it in a nice, imaginative way. They could breadcrumb it or fry it into a beignet.
Cod itself is very popular, very common, but the head is something you don't see a great deal of.
All right, let's do it. So first thing I'm going to do is remove the cheeks. Just by pressing it, you can feel where they are in here. And then we gently sort of find their way through it. And I don't want to see them rushing. There is not a lot of meat, and I don't want to see it wasted. There are also other bits of the cod's head here that they can use. This is the throat, which is a real delicacy. So this is what you can get left over from the cod's head. You've got the cheeks, you've got the top of the head, as well as the throat. I'm only going to use the cheeks and the throat.
Quite interesting that something so small, there's so much sinew on there. If you leave it on, you cook it, it tightens up, becomes tough. That's not going to be very nice. This should melt in the mouth. They should be able to work it out.
Our chefs have only got 20 minutes to put something together here, so they need to look at the ingredients and put something together that they know is going to work. I'm going to go for the clams. I'm going to use a bit of the chorizo. I'm going to use some of these lovely seaweeds along the front as well. Very delicate flavour cod cheek, so I don't want to overpower it too much. I'm going to confit the throat gently and slowly because it has a lot of fibre in it, and if it's cooked too quickly, it becomes quite tough. I'm going to cook the clams off to get some cooking juices off that, and I'll use it for the base of the sauce. The clams might not be the key feature to the dish here, but they've still got to be cooked correctly. So my clams are being cooked. I've got the liquid here. Now I've got here some mayonnaise. It's a very old way of finishing sauces, is thickening it, is with a mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, finish the sauce. And you on me? I love the sauce idea. I think it works great. It's fantastic.
All I want to see is the bits of the cod's head prepared and used in the right way.
First up is 43-year-old Richard, head chef at a country house hotel in Northamptonshire.
I look after all the food outlets in the hotel and make sure everything runs tickety-boo. Been a chef for about 24 years. I'm a little bit old school, a bit set in my ways, but over the years been all around the kitchen, so I'm quite confident. First I thought I was too old to do the competition, but after seeing Gary win it last year, it's given me inspiration to enter this year and have a go. Service, please.
OK, so today I would like you to take the meat off the cod's head and make us a dish of your choice using any of the ingredients on this table.
Richard, have you ever prepped a cod head before?
No, I haven't, no.
No? OK.
What are you thinking, Richard?
I'm thinking of panning the cod's cheeks and making a little clam broth with it, with some fire.
So, Richard, what made you enter?
I wanted to develop myself a little bit further. I mean, I've got to a stage in my career where everything's pretty good, but I thought I'd challenge myself, and I've got 2 baby boys, one's 3, one's 1. So part of the challenge was to push myself.
You've got a 3 and a 1-year-old?
Yeah.
You sure you're just not trying to get away from...
It was nice to get a nice sleep last night.
Richard has deep-fried his cod's cheeks in a panko breadcrumb with clams, samphire, spinach, and a paprika and citrus cream sauce.
Richard, the cheek inside has been nicely cooked. It just falls apart. The garnish itself, I mean, you're using things like samphire, which are already quite salty, and then adding more to it. It's a lot.
I think if you'd have tasted your food, you'd identify that your garnish underneath is too salty and that your sauce is far too hot. You're going to have to start tasting your food, Richard.
Will do. I always taste my food. I'm onto my chefs about tasting food, but this time I didn't do it. Just one of those things. But I'll make sure I'll do it in the future.
Sous chef Leo works in a Michelin-starred restaurant in Birmingham.
I've been here 9 years altogether. But I've worked with some brilliant chefs. They've taught me a lot. I love doing very classical kind of stuff. But then I love cooking Greek food. It's in my heritage, it's in me. From the barbecuing with my dad outside to helping my mum inside the kitchen. To do a challenge like this, It's huge. It's career-changing almost. You've got to be crazy to do it, I have to admit.
Thinking of just using, obviously, cod, clams, white wine, perfect combination. Going to use some nice samphire in there, bring all the flavours out.
Leo is serving his cod's cheeks with clams, samphire, and a cream and white wine sauce.
You seem very confident. I like the way you move. I think you did a good job removing the cod's cheek from the head. I just need to remind you, you need to remove the sinew before the cooking, not afterwards, otherwise it falls apart.
Leo, you work through the challenge with ease. I'd like to see you just push yourself a touch more.
Curious to see what dish you've got up your sleeve for your signature round.
Thank you. 20 minutes to do something like that. It seems simple, but it's not. It's a blank page. It's the nerves what get to you.
Scottish-born Alexander is a 31-year-old chef patron.
I would describe myself as the head chef and landlord of a country pub in the heart of rural Suffolk. Running your own business, it's a constant juggling act, but I really enjoy the adrenaline rush that you get every service. When I started cooking, I was 14 years old. Mother was pregnant with my younger sister. She didn't have as much time to cook for us, so I took over the running of the kitchen, found a passion for it, and haven't looked back since then. Service! I definitely entered with the intention of going as far as I can. I think I can go all the way, hopefully.
Alexander, have you ever prepped a cod's head before?
I have, yeah. I've taken the cheeks out. We've used the tongue before.
What parts of the cod are you going to use?
Just top bit of the head and some of the cheek, and then make a sort of a lemon emulsion with some green veg and boiled potatoes.
Nice.
It was probably the first time I've experienced being this nervous since I first walked into a kitchen. It's like being a commie chef all over again.
Alexander is serving his pan-fried cod's cheeks in a lemon emulsion with new potatoes, capers, and samphire.
Alexander?
Yep.
The cheek butchery is fine. You clearly did that before, but you didn't trim any of it down. Your dish you've given us is burnt.
I don't think it's great at all, Alexander. I think it's really poor. Hey, let's hope you can come back.
I should have done better. It wasn't something I didn't know how to do. So it's just difficult to know if I can actually come back from that.
22-year-old Jordan is a pastry chef in a two-rosette hotel in Devon.
I've always been in pastry since I started cooking about 6 years ago. I think the creativity is the best part of being pastry. and get textures, flavours, and just pretty to look at and taste nice. So. Before I was a pastry chef, I used to play for the Torquay United youth team, but I didn't see me going anywhere in football as such. So when I got offered the job to be a chef, it was perfect timing, really. Skill chef's going to be the most challenging thing. That's the only thing I'm worried about. I'm just going to try and do my best interpretation of what they want, really, so we shall see.
How's it feeling?
A bit nervous, but I'm just going to try and remove as much of the flesh as possible. I'm just trying to work out where the meat might be hiding.
And the cheeks, maybe?
Yep, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And I'm actually a pastry chef, so this is testing all of my knowledge, really. And there you go.
How hard was that, Jordan?
Yeah, it was quite difficult, the pressure of having to create something on the spot. But, you know, I tried to do what I could in the time limit and try not to be too adventurous and make a complete mess of it.
Good man. That's all we asked for, Jordan.
Jordan has made a cod's cheek omelette with chilli and spinach, topped with chives.
So, Jordan, you struggled quite a bit trying to find the cheeks. There really are sort of like three bits. The cheeks, the top, and then the throat bit. So not a great beginning for you. And then you've made us an omelette. I've never had a cod omelette.
You're working in pastry, Jordan, and pastry, it's about precision. That principle applies in cookery. And I'm just wondering as to why you didn't bring that into the kitchen today.
Cheers. In my head, I was like, I'm running out of time here. I saw some eggs and some butter. I just thought omelette would be the quickest and easiest thing to do. But it was just disastrous.
Next to face Monica's skills test is Joe, a 28-year-old sous chef from Cornwall.
Been a chef for 10 years now. Currently working in a fine dining restaurant with an Asian twist. My position as a sous chef takes me throughout the kitchen. You're not stuck in one section. You can oversee everything and really push your input. Applied to MasterChef because last year I saw the progress the contestants made. Service. I just thought, I want a piece of that. Definitely could do with a piece of that.
You've worked with cod before?
I worked with cod, but I've not taken the cheeks out of cod before.
I'm sure you'll find your way around it, yeah? You do have only 20 minutes.
OK. Cheeks look OK.
Are you going to use any other part of the cod's head?
No. I'm going to make a sauce with the clams.
Joe, change your board, will you?
Oh, sorry.
Joe has served pan-fried cod's cheek, braised fennel, samphire, clams, and a white wine sauce.
Joe, you've not removed the cheeks off a cod before, but you managed to do it really well. Working methods, you need to always remember contamination is a big thing, especially raw products, fish and vegetables. Cutting it all on the same board is a big no-no, yeah.
You didn't look comfortable at all, Joe. This isn't great.
The cod's overcooked, the sauce is wishy-washy, the garnish are lacklustre, they're not great at all.
You've cooked the clams so much, it's like shriveled in on itself. You're going to have to bring it in the next round.
Cheers.
Just did silly mistakes that I shouldn't have done. That was so bad. I just cook my own dish now and hopefully claw back some dignity.
Finally, it's 24-year-old Tom, a senior sous chef for a fine dining restaurant in Westminster.
What I really enjoy about being a chef is the atmosphere, the ambience in the kitchen, everybody working together, me being able to create dishes as well. It's why I love coming to work. I'm lucky that I get quite a lot of free rein to be creative. I feel like there's a massive amount of pressure entering MasterChef, but hopefully I can go in there, be confident and showcase what I would like to do.
Worked with cod before?
Yep.
Cod cheeks?
Yep.
Fab.
Okay, just going to lightly flour the cod cheeks, just pan fry them. Saute off some chorizo, some potatoes, broad beans, and use some of the summer veg as a little garnish. I've been very competitive from a young age. I mean, growing up with my brother, it's a very similar age to me. Everything has been a competition, so I can't help it. I'm an extremely competitive person now. Just making a little posh mayonnaise for the dressing. To make a little casserole. Start cooking the cod cheeks now.
Tom is serving pan-fried cod's cheek on a chorizo cassoulet, topped with a lemon and caper mayonnaise.
Tom, you work around the kitchen with a sense of understanding, which is nice to see. There's a few things in your skill that concern me, and that's the seasoning of fish so far in advance of cookery.
Okay. The longer you leave it salted, the more it's going to soak through to the fish. The fish has been seasoned 10 minutes before, so it's very salty. But I like the idea of where you're going with the chorizo, the broad beans. They're all flavours that work very well together. I think you sort of showed some excitement in the way you've put this together, and that's possibly the most excitement we've seen all day.
Obviously some pointers to take on board and some positives as well in there, so happy overall, yeah.